Absolute pleasure to be back. I've been champing at the bit for the last few weeks, if I'm being honest, because of all the kind of nutty news like this. We now have Islamic blasphemy laws in Britain, as far as I'm concerned. On February the 13th, this happened.
Oh, you got a knife, man. Come for don't come to me.
Come for me.
Listen, I'm just filming, yeah?
Burn the Quran.
No, you shouldn't be. Listen.
It's my religion. You don't burn Quran. You don't burn.
He just did. He's done it.
The man who burned the Koran was charged with a hate crime, found guilty and fined. The Muslim man who attacked him with a knife and shouted, "I will kill you," walked free from court. Now, he pleaded guilty. He was given a suspended sentence after arguing that he was protecting his religion, and that's the key point here. Just look at this attacker's face as he left court. And we can bring a little picture of him there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not surprised he's smirking, are you? I mean, the message is clear in Britain now, isn't it? Offend Islam, you're in big trouble. Physically assault and threaten to kill someone who offended Islam, and you won't spend a day behind bars. Is that not two-tier justice? Now, one of the members of a band called Kneecap shouted this on stage. Yeah, so it was up Hamas, up Hezbollah. Fantastic there, wasn't it, really? So they have repeatedly said they deny that offence and will vehemently defend themselves. But today, it didn't really matter because the case was thrown out of court. Why? Well, the Attorney General, Lord Hermer, didn't give permission for the charges in time. Gosh, what an inconvenient mistake that is. It's the kind of mistake that almost never happens, isn't it? Remarkable that we live in a country where, good grief, who would have thought that would happen under Lord Hermer? So, allegations of openly supporting Islamist terror groups, charges thrown out of court. Like I said, the Kneecap band member there said, this entire process was never about me. It was never about any threat to the public. It was never about terrorism. It was about Gaza, about what happened if you dare to speak up. All right. Meanwhile, this happened yesterday.
Posted something online that we believe is spreading racial hatred.
Twitter, Facebook,
I can't explain too much. It's just to give you the context beforehand.
Let me put to you an interview.
Because I appreciate you've never been arrested before, have you?
Yeah, once or twice.
Once or twice. Apologies.
Frequent flyer.
Apologies, I didn't think you were. Basically, how it works now is then, obviously, if you've got stuff you'd like to gather, obviously I'm more than willing to talk through what you're able to take with you.
What, you're taking me away now?
Yes, so you're under arrest, so you're going to Harrogate, unfortunately.
You're taking me to Harrogate in the middle of the night over a tweet?
I am, unfortunately.
Yeah, we would have heard that because it was playing, but there's a ripple of laughter there, isn't it? Because it just seems so ridiculous. It's just absolutely nuts. But police turned up at a man's door in the middle of the night and arrested him in front of his family for sharing a social media post, which they say was intended to stir up racial hatred. North Yorkshire Police are following receipt of a report. A man was arrested yesterday on suspicion of publishing or distributing written material intended to stir up racial hatred. He's been released on bail whilst inquiries continue. So his post apparently said this: F Palestine, F Hamas, F Islam, want to protest, why don't you F off to a Muslim country and protest? All right, OK, bit offensive, I get that. But, well, it might be a criminal offence, possibly because, well, it offended some Muslim people, didn't it? I'm not really sure who else that would have offended. But if you watch this clip... That is a man calling for someone to do Nigel Farage next after Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck and killed. Now, as far as we're aware, the police are taking no action to that whatsoever. No action. I think there is a bit of two-tier justice going about in Britain. If you offend Islam, you'll get hammered. If you happen to be a Muslim committing a crime or you are suspected of supporting an Islamist terror group, I think you'll probably just get a slap on the wrist. But let's get the views of my panel, but most importantly, actually, my live studio audience.
We're living in a time of what feels like pretty significant social change, and it makes us question things that we've even taken for granted for decades. And one of those at the moment that people are wondering about is actually money. Is the money in your bank account safe? Should you be investing elsewhere? Are we looking at a potential global crash? What will it mean for your savings? Is there a way that you could be using your money that might be outside of government control even? Well, TallyMoney is potentially one solution. So I'm delighted to say that I'm joined today by the CEO and founder of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. What is TallyMoney?
Well, at TallyMoney, you basically get gold you can spend. So we give people an individual account in their name, everyday account. They get a sort code, an account number. They use that account just like they would pounds from their bank, but it's milligrams of gold that we brand as Tally.
Okay. Why would you do that, though? What is the benefit to the customer instead of just having a normal pound sterling account?
Gold's performance against the pound is above 11% per annum over the last 25 years on average. But we still need money in our daily lives, and we have savings. We know that it's good common sense and prudent to save up for things, not just live in credit. You know, whether it's a holiday or a rainy day, your retirement planning, you need to have money in your life, basically, that you can rely on, that's dependable, that nobody meddles with, that nobody can weaponise against you, which is another element of government control when it's the government currency, which we could talk about another time. And it should be pretty simple and straightforward, and that's what we deliver at Tally. And really, we just want people to feel safe and happy with their money. There was a time when the bigger your bank balance, the more confident you felt. Now it's like, I need to do something with it. I can't leave it there. In Tally, you can.
Okay, brilliant. Cameron Parry from TallyMoney, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bev.
There's a chap on the front row, if you don't mind kicking us off straight away, mate. Would you like to give us your views on all of this? Go on, what would you say?
It's bonkers. The whole lot's absolutely crazy. I just think, how can you have like the Kneecap? They're going on the stage and, you know, announcing that, and then all of a sudden you've got also a knife-wielding man running around the street with a knife, and then you've got the likes of the other people, like simple enough like that, and then you're looking thinking, where's the two-tier justice in that? There's just nothing at all. So, yeah, I think we've just got to the point now. This is getting absolutely out of control, and I think we all believe in it, and I think we're all just got to stick together and just go forward from there, really, because this is really bad. We've got ourselves in such a state of shock now, and I think the people with the flags flying around and everything else, and that's why. There's no other reason, and we can clearly see that, and if Keir Starmer cannot see this, I think he needs to go out and actually go for a drive around.
You think the reason why a lot of people are now putting up the flags of our country is because of stuff we're seeing like this?
Yes, 100%. That's why. That's why. There's no other reason for it. There's no other reason. So we're going out there with the people who are putting the flags up for the simple fact we're showing defiance of what's going on. We need to get there because it's not in a good way.
All right. Do people tend to agree with that guy's point of view? Yeah. We got it. Yeah. All right. Okay. There we go. Susanna, I'll start with you on this. I mean, where to start? Gosh. So I mean, we've got the Kneecap situation. There, the Attorney General deciding, or seemingly not pressing the right button in time.
On purpose? Could it possibly be? You know, this gentleman's absolutely right. Decent people in this country have had enough. We've absolutely had enough now. No, for me, and I think most of us now, the case of Lucy Connolly is the benchmark, really. So there was she, white Christian woman, who lost her temper, just like this guy who attacked the guy who was burning a Koran, so the judge said. She lost her temper. She said something stupid. She pleaded guilty. She got a 31-month prison sentence. Yet he, who lost his temper, a Muslim man who attacked somebody physically with a knife, got away with a suspended sentence and didn't go to jail. I mean, it is disgusting. Frankly, the judiciary disgusts me right now. And I've always had huge respect for our legal system, for our judges. Not anymore, nor the police.
Yeah, well, we've replaced justice with appeasement. And what it tells you there is if you invoke religion, particularly Islam, you can pick up a knife, you can try and attack one, tell them you're going to kill them, and you get away with it. And what does that do? That just encourages more violence. And it is a two-tier system because, frankly, what he should have been charged with was threats to kill, which is an immediate custodial sentence, aggravated assault with a knife, which massively aggravates the sentencing, and those are all immediate custodial sentences, just a possession of a knife, and he didn't get that. And the moment that we give one group better outcomes in justice, there's no justice at all. Absolutely. And you say that we don't have blasphemy laws. Yes, I think we got rid of them in 2008, was it? Yeah. But they've replaced it with public order offences, and public order offences says that you can be prosecuted if you cause alarm or distress to someone of a religious group. So it's come in through the back door. And there's never been more numbers of those kind of prosecutions, and it's normally against Muslim people. And I think hate crime, all kinds of hate crime legislation needs to be reduced because it stifles freedom of speech. That man should have gone to prison, and the man burning the Koran should not have.
Well, Nigel, I do put it to you that I would have thought if you're at Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park of a weekend and a bloke decides to burn a copy of the Bible and I pulled a knife out and said, I want to kill you, and then tried to kill him, that I probably would have gone to prison for that. So what's gone on here?
Well, I mean, you may have done if you'd had if the exact same circumstances happened with Quran burning happened to a Bible, you would be breaking the law. So that may have happened. But the whole thing is, this is not two-tier justice. It's actually just justice. It's multi-tier justice, if anything. All these cases are different. So starting off with Liam O'Hanna from Kneecap, that was a technicality, was thrown out. We don't know what the result would have been if it had gone to trial. It was a technicality. At the moment,
do you find it hard to believe that the Attorney General managed to mess this one up?
I think that's making an extraordinary allegation against the Attorney General.
Of actually still allowed in this country.
Can I just say, it's quite the coincidence, isn't it, that anybody that's on the left, anyone that's pro-Palestine and so on, anyone that's of Muslim flavour seems to get off, but anybody that's on the centre-right, anyone that's patriotic...
But hang on, they didn't get off.
Anybody that's at a St George's Day parade, anybody that's a legitimate protest because they're worried about the state of broken Britain, they are being persecuted, put in prison. And I'll remind you, by the way, let's not just talk about Lucy Connolly, let's talk about Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch was put in prison for a tweet. He died. He died in prison.
Right.
If this gentleman, Mr. Musa Kadri, that we're talking about, had been Jimmy Smith from Basildon, he would now be serving.
Well, is that unfair? Go on, Nigel.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're trying to compare cases which are completely different. So the guy who burnt the Koran and started shouting anti-Islamic slogans, he was done for a hate crime. He got punished for that. He got fined 240 quid. Yeah. Musa Kadri, who attacked him with a knife, he got 20 weeks suspended. It's a different cause. One was assault, one was for an assault, and one was for a hate crime. They're different crimes.
The thing is, in a democracy, right, if you cannot, you can't shield any kind of belief system from criticism.
No, and the judge said exactly that.
But a man who should have got sentenced for trying to attack someone with a knife that could have resulted in death got a suspended sentence, which means, hang on, he got off with no fine, he got off with nothing. The man who burnt the Quran didn't harm anyone, was charged with a fine. It is a serious...
Yeah.
We have to ask serious questions.
The man who burnt the Quran, what he was actually done for was not burning the Quran.
Yes, he was done. Yes, he was.
It was for being Islamophobic to the followers of Islam.
So we don't have freedom of speech. We're not allowed to criticise Islam?
No, you're not allowed to have hate speech.
What did he say?
Can criticise. Hang on. You can criticise Islam, but what you can't do is criticise the followers of Islam because that is hate speech.
What's the difference?
Nigel, do you think your argument's basically saying hurty words against Muslims are worse than physical violence? Do you really believe that?
No, you may disagree with the way the judges are sentencing.
You a question. Do you think hurty words are worse than physical violence?
I think that the cases are different, and therefore...
You're not going to answer my question.
No, because I can't answer your question because each case is different. Each is an individual case.
If someone burnt a Bible in the street, they'd also be prosecuted and fined the same as if they'd burnt a Koran, because the answer's no.
So, Nigel,
you may say that, but
just a quick question. Sorry, I was because the other aspect of this is that bloke getting a knock on the door by I think it was North Yorkshire Police and being carted off in the middle of the night for those tweets. Now. OK, so some of the content there, I think, what was offensive. I suppose the question really is that the kind of thing you should be getting a knock on the door for, Leila?
No, definitely not. And we are not equal under the law. I wrote an article yesterday in the Daily Mail. I had to prosecute a woman in a full burqa in court, and when I asked the judge to ask her to remove it, she said no. These are religious sensitivities. If you rock up, if that gentleman rocks up in that amazing hat he's got on, the judge would force him to take it off.
Yeah.
OK.
But she was allowed to keep a full face covering, and I had to prosecute someone who I had no idea who they were prosecuting.
By the way, the burqa is not religious.
No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with Islam.
It's cultural.
Exactly.
Very quick word from you on the police knocking on that chap's door because he posted, you know, F Palestine, F Islam, F whatever. I mean, is that the kind of thing we should be getting nicked for?
No, absolutely no. It's creeping, it's sinister, it's reminiscent of 1960s, 1970s Stasi East Germany. That is the way that we are heading, and it's very, very clear.
And Britain must remain...
Can I just say...
sorry, no, go on.
In 2023, under the Conservatives, by the way, do you know how many people were arrested in Britain for so-called offensive tweets and posts on social media? 12,000.
That's remarkable.
Twice as many as Belarus.
And I'll just say, Reform is the only one that's saying that Britain must remain a country of equal justice, free speech, and one for all. Anything less is a betrayal.
All right. Yeah. Just finally, do you think the police were right to knock on that guy's door if he's offended?
I don't know what the complaint was, so it's the first time I've seen it. Okay. But yes, the police are carrying out laws handed down from Parliament. If duffers in Parliament are making those laws and they're going wrong, you can't blame the police for that.
It does not say in Parliament, there's no law that says it's wrong. It's a crime to attack.
There's crime against knife crime, but somehow they're not getting arrested.
All right, well, a lively start, good stuff. You got the ball rolling there, mate, so well done on the front row. I hope we're going to get a few more. Just the first one on the tracks, it gets it going. There you go.